Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lady Hawthorn and you are watching an adequate VTuber introduction. Alright, enough with scripts. I'd like to share a few things about me now. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Lady Hawthorn. Lady is actually my name, not a title. I am a vampire. My birthday, I've lived quite long and I don't really remember when it was. I also stopped counting at around 5,000. But okay, enough about that. My height is 163 meters. Occupation. I'd like to talk about this a little bit. You see, I have a clan member named Ambrose who likes making potions. We're a clan of 4, by the way. And once he's done with them, I take them and sell them around Calico's Hollow, where we live. Or I sell them in other worlds where I travel through books. This is one of my powers, by the way. I'm a story traveler. It's like a time traveler, but for stories, like from book to book. And I also sell one of my other clan members' goods. Her name is Ai. She makes sweets. And they're very delicious, by the way. Next up, languages. I'm fluent in English and Greek, and I'm learning Japanese. I can understand better in text and a bit of listening, but I'm struggling a little bit with the speaking part. It requires talking to others to become fluent in a language, and well, I suck at making friends. But anyway, that's all for this slide. Next slide. Likes and dislikes. Starting from my likes, I've listed sweets first, because I absolutely love sweets, and especially chocolate. The only form of chocolate I don't like is in ice cream form. Oh, and by chocolate, I mean milk chocolate. I'm not a fan of dark chocolate. I could live with the white one though. Next is blood, because I'm a vampire, I love blood. Music is next, because I'm what I like to call myself a music junkie. I absolutely need to listen to music at least 3 hours a day to be calm. Next up, I've listed games. We'll talk more about them in the next slide. Same goes for movies and anime. And then I've listed dancing, which I really enjoy, and I'm trying to get back to because I haven't done it seriously for a long time, and I figured since I am not a big fan of working out, I might as well do it for my health. Then it's singing. I use singing as a stress reliever. I don't really sing in front of others. Next is photo editing. I enjoy making pictures through photo manipulation. And obviously, since I come from a town that is medieval, I learned this technique from your world. Yes. Next is writing. I've been writing stories since I was very young, so I enjoy doing that from time to time as well. Next is ASMR, which I find very soothing and like to listen to at night while I'm drawing or creating or whatever comes to mind at that time. And I'm gonna be honest, I do wish to try making one of those, but I don't know yet. I might test it out, and if it works, I'm going to post it. If not, never mind. Then it's fancy outfits. As you can tell from what I'm wearing right now, I am rather flashy. Ribbons, like the one on my head. I also have a piercing on my back with ribbons, but you can't see it right now. Then it's potion making. I enjoy making potions from time to time with my fellow clan member and friend Ambrose. Then it's tale traveling, my power. I get to see and learn so much. It's just wonderful to be able to live in every story and every world you can possibly imagine. Then it's animals. I absolutely love animals. And then it's flowers, which I also like very much. There are some I don't like because I suffer from many allergies, but I do find them fascinating, and I've also studied a lot about them because one of the stories I'm writing right now has a lot of plant lore involved. And yeah, then I wrote arts in general because I'm fascinated by most, if not every, art form in existence. And if I had the time and patience, I'd probably sit down and learn how to create in way more art forms than I already do. Moving on to the dislikes, I hate lies, cheaters, vampire hunters, obviously, they're trying to kill me all the time, the Von Harness and Ribbons clans, for which we're going to talk more in the future. All I can say for now is that they're very annoying clans and nobody likes them. Yeah. Then it's insects. I despise them. Like, I hate insects. But I do like butterflies. And not just the day butterflies, also the night butterflies. And okay, sometimes, just sometimes, I might find the small, jumpy, hairy spiders cute, but that's about it. I don't like them close to me, but I find them cute. And finally, I've written minimalism, and you might wonder why would I put it here? Because I am, how do I say this? I'm a passionate maximalist, that's what I am, and minimalism pisses me off. Anyway, next slide. And here are the specifics. You know what? I could have made a video for each of this, like separately, but I'll try not to geek out much because we don't have much time. Starting from music, as I said earlier, I'm quite the music junkie, and there are a lot of artists I listen to from several different countries. But some of my top favorites are Christina Aguilera, and Eccentric Agent, Screw, Versailles, Rain, D, The Gazette, and Kiryu. Besides Christina Aguilera, everything else is Japanese. They're all Japanese rock bands. And yeah, I don't know what else to say here, really. I'll move on to the movies.
So here's the thing. I have watched so many movies that I can no longer tell if I have a clear top 10. All I know is that these few that I have here are some of those I would gladly watch over and over again without problem.
So first is Addams Family. I love this. Morticia and Gomez are the ideal love couple in my eyes. Then it's Charlie's Angels. I was so obsessed with this as a child. I could recite the dialogues word by word. That's how obsessed I was. I had watched it about 200 times and I knew every single line. Then it's The Fifth Element, the only science fiction movie that I enjoy because I'm not a big fan of science fiction movies. And it's Sweeney Todd, love it, love it. Con Air, Pearl, which is more recent than the others. Step Up 2, I enjoy it more than the rest of Step Up movies. This is a testament of how much I enjoy dancing. I really wanted to be a dancer at some point too. Then it's Suspiria of 2018. Please don't come for me. I know not many people enjoy this version, but personally I enjoyed it more than the first one. Perhaps because I found the original one to be very artistic for me to follow. Moving on to games. I am a huge, and by huge I mean huge fan of Silent Hill. Yeah, up to the 4th installment though. After that I found the game to be losing, how do I put it? Losing steam, I guess. It just lost a bit of the fun to it. Things seemed to be repeated and the stories weren't as strong as the first 4 games for me. Then it's Genshin Impact. Yes, I'm one of them. But I swear I won't come for your ships or whatever. I'm here for the lore, I swear. And the pretty guys, I guess. But yeah, moving on. Final Fantasy X2. Not many people seem to be fans of this one. I know the 7th installment has a big fandom. And the previous one to this one, Final Fantasy X, also has a big fandom. But Final Fantasy X2 was my first Final Fantasy game, and I loved the girl power dynamic. I loved the changes in clothes, the battles, the speeches. All in all, it was a really memorable experience for me. I cried a lot also. I loved Yuna and Titus's story. However, I must admit I hate what they did with the HD version. I'm one of those that doesn't consider that extra they added canon. And you can hate me all you want from this. Next, MJS, otherwise known as Metal Gear Solid. Okay, I can't speak for every game on this one. I've played the first 3 games and I enjoyed them. I don't know what happens after that, so I can't speak for everything. But for the first 3, I'm definitely a huge fan. I love them, especially the first and the third one. Then it's Kingdom Hearts. All right, Kingdom Hearts, I wish I could play all the games. I've unfortunately played only one and I loved it. I had looked up the story since I couldn't get the rest of the games at that time to see what happens next. And yeah, I was hooked. Then it's DMC, otherwise known as Devil May Cry, another big love of mine. However, I don't know how to feel about the last one. Perhaps because it was so far away from the previous games, it felt a bit off. Then it's X-Men Legends. We don't talk a lot about this, and we should. Like, seriously, best X-Men game ever. You can play every X-Men character that exists, and there's so many powers. I just absolutely loved it, and I missed it as a game. And then it's Taken. Taken is by far the best fighting game for me. I enjoy it very much. I also like Soul Calibur as an honorable mention, but Taken, I grew up with Taken. It's really special to me. Let's talk about anime now. Starting off, my biggest anime love, Danganronpa. And I know what you're thinking. From Genshin Impact to Danganronpa, your girl should be a menace, right? I belong in 2 of the worst fandoms in the world. Anyway, then it's ReZero, or ReZero. I sincerely, to this day, I don't know how to pronounce this. You can come for me. Feel free to come for me. I love ReZero. It's probably one of the longest anime I've ever sat down to watch and wasn't bored a single moment. That's how much I liked it. Then it's Nanatsu no Taizai. I will be frank with you. I do not tell many people that I love this anime. How to put this? This anime features my favorite anime character ever, Meliodas. And also, Meliodas' and Elizabeth's love story is also an ultimate of love for me after Morticia and Gomez. But here's the thing. I hated the end. I'm sorry. I've been watching the whole time, loving every minute of it. And then comes the ending that Meliodas and Elizabeth, spoiler alert by the way if you haven't watched it, they're having children. I'll try to be brief. I do not like endings where my favorite couple ends up with kids. Because everywhere in the media, every movie, every anime you watch, it is expected that by the end, the climax of an amazing love story is to get married and have children. Which doesn't apply for everyone because not everyone thinks this should be, the ultimate of a relationship. So yeah, this ruined it for me, as well as the fact that suddenly both King and Meliodas grew up in size and changed faces. Like, why? But yeah, it was mostly the fact that they had kids. Like, where is the representation for us who enjoy the love without the kids, But yeah, I'm still bitter about this, so I generally don't talk about Nanatsu no Taizai as much as I used to. Then we have Pokemon. Guys, Pokemon, I think it was my first anime. I think. I'm not 100% sure. And by the way, even though I didn't include it in my games list, I love Pokemon games too. I've played several of them. Not finished all of them, but I've played several of them. Then is Jibaku Shonen Hanako-kun. This is my latest, biggest love in anime. The art style is amazing, and the story seems to be going well. We recently found out there's gonna be a second season. I'm so excited about this. Next is an underrated gem, if I'm allowed to say, Servamp, which, listen, I believe the manga must be better than the anime, and mostly because of pacing. Servamp had so much to give. I just wish the execution of the story was a bit better, but it's still one of my favorite anime ever. Next is Diabolic Lovers, however you wish to pronounce it. I don't know what to say here. It's a reverse harem with vampires like me. And okay, apart from the whole, toxic boyfriend thingy that, we girls enjoy a bad boy from time to time, I also enjoyed how the characters were actually written. Another protagonist, usually reverse harem protagonists they don't have much of a personality, they're Mary Sue's. but I really enjoyed the way the vampires were written. Like, as a writer, I really enjoyed it. Next is Yu-Gi-Oh!, another childhood favorite that I try to rewatch, and but because it's very long, I haven't managed to finish it. But I've watched the first season again, the one saving the grandpa only. And I'm a card player too. I own a rather big collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, although the old type. Like, don't expect me to have the new flashy cards with the new rules. Like, for me, it was plain strategy. I don't know how people play nowadays. Then we have Hoseki no Kuni. We need more of that, but unfortunately there is no second season coming. I enjoyed it so much, and I definitely recommend it to people who do not mind 3D in their anime. Next is Nambaka. Nambaka, well, first of all, there should be more seasons, because besides the fact that it's an absolute comedic gem, I think it has so much more to deliver, and it's also the only anime that got me read a manga. I'm not much of a reader, but I've tried to read this one, and I wish I could finish it, but I unfortunately cannot get my hands on every installment right now. I think installment is the right word for this. That's all. That's some of my favorites from each category. I geeked out after all. Oops. Next slide. So normally this is a part when most VTubers talk about their goals, but I don't like talking about mine, so we'll skip that and go straight to content. First off, to get the streaming part out of the way, I'm not going to be a streaming type of VTuber, which I know for many happens to be a deal breaker. I'll be more like a YouTube creator. And there are two reasons for that. One, my PC's RAM happens to be very small at the moment. And the second reason is more to do with me. I happen to be very shy and anxious, so it's more comfortable for me to be able to edit what you guys see. That way I can avoid both stalling, like o, which I do a lot, or mixing my words a lot and trying to figure out what to say to remain entertaining. Editing gives me a lot of space to think and be more of myself than an anxious bunch trying to make people laugh or whatever. Because mainly, my main goal for the channel is to make you guys enjoy yourselves. That being said, I don't want to say things like, oh, I'll never ever stream. Maybe one day I will, when I have a better equipment and more confidence, perhaps, from doing this for a while. I don't know, a few months, maybe a year. But yeah, for now it's a downright no. Which is why gaming is also crossed out. I'd love to be able to play video games with you guys, but since OBS is already taking much of my GPU, and games like, I don't know, Genshin also needs a lot of GPU to work, everything is going to crash. It's not going to work. So what is going to be the content I'm actually doing, if not streaming, if not gaming? Well, movie reactions. Like I said in the previous slide, watching movies is something I really enjoy, and movie reactions are a kind of content I enjoy consuming on YouTube. So why not take my chances and try it myself, you know? The first movie we are going to watch is going to be completely up to me, but moving forward, I'll be posting polls on the community tab for you to help me choose. Next up, I've listed Genshin stuff, because the fact I can play with you guys doesn't mean I will stop talking about it. So what kind of Genshin content I'm going to make? Well, version reaction is an idea I had. Like, every time there's a new patch, I could perhaps talk about it once I'm done with the Archon quest. We could discuss lore, just not as deeply as, you know, those Fury experts. Or we could do tier lists, you know? Like, who is S tier hot, A tier hot, etc. Like, in my opinion. Or who is the strongest, in my opinion. I don't know. Finally, I've listed ASMR with question marks because, like I said earlier, I want to try it first and then, you know, decide whether this is going to be a stable for my channel or not. Now about schedule, I've written once per week. And why is that? Because I'm very, very slow at editing, which is kind of silly because technically I spend my whole teenagehood learning how to do this thing. But no, I am very slow. It's been a while since I last made a video, so I've grown rusty. So yeah, we'll be doing this once per week for now. And if it doesn't work, I'll do it once per 2 weeks until, I get back to the speed I used to have. Please bear with me is what I'm trying to say. Now, there is another type of content I didn't put here because I believe it makes sense for me to do, is lore videos about me. There are times I'll be making videos discussing about the lore in case anyone wants to follow it. Just for the VTuber lore fun or whatever. Moving on. Hashtags, yay! Okay, so first things first. Art. I don't know if any one of you wants to make art of me, but just in case you are inspired by what I do, you find me funny or whatever, and you want to make something, I have this art tag here, hashtag Lady Hawthorn, that you can use. I don't think anyone is going to try NSFW with me, but because I like this type of art and because one of my best friends is also an NSFW artist, I don't want to cut anyone's wings, If you want to draw something, draw it, I don't mind. And the hashtag for you is hashtag Hawthorny. I thought that by myself and I'm so proud of it. Anyway, then we have assets. I didn't know that was a thing actually. I seen this type of hashtag used by other VTubers and didn't quite know that was possible. But yeah, if any one of you wants to share the fan art with me, I'd be very grateful first and foremost, because it's going to help me a lot, seriously. Like, I do everything on my own, so if I have the chance to have a picture ready for a thumbnail, it will already save me a lot of time to, focus on something else for the video. But yeah, hashtag a lady's assets, that's the tag for you. Now, if you have a fan art that you want to put in both categories for other viewers to watch and also for me to be able to use in my videos, you can use both hashtags, like both Lady Hawthorn and a lady's assets. How about your fun name now? At first I thought I could call you, baddies, like small butts, baddies, and at the same time be able to change this to buddies, we're bad, we're baddies, or buddies with a U, friends. But then I thought that most vampires would go for that, like there are many vampire VTubers out there. So I thought, hey, all of us in this community that I'm building right here, like everyone in my clan is going to be considered a noble. So yeah, noble, aristocrat, same thing. And vampires are also seen as, butts. That's a symbol of most vampires out there. So yeah, I thought we'll be calling you Aristobats. I know I do sound like I don't like it, but I swear I do. I really do. I'm really anxious. That's what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys like it too, and we can now move on to the next slide. Okay, credits and shoutouts. Before we start, just a little heads up. I apologize if you can hear any noise from the background. I recorded this video in multiple parts and I already had to wait for days for my health to go back to normal because my allergies were killing me, and now I have to deal with the weather, so I can't wait any longer. I had to finish the video. But anyway, yeah, back to credits. I'd like to give a few thanks to the people whose assets helped in the creation of the current model you're seeing in front of you. Most of these are booth accounts, but there are a few DeviantArt accounts as well. I will tell you which is which so that perhaps you'd like to visit them for your own models or your own projects, I don't know. Starting off with hair, eyes, piercings, makeup, outfit. These accounts had so many wonderful assets I could use to style my model. So yeah, the Gambling Jester, Twice C, Ayaki no Soko, 404.exe, Riri Merori, Koyomi Works, 2v5g, Nina Kitty 25, and Lousiest Raccoon. Thank you so much. Your assets are amazing, and I really hope more people will find something they like by browsing these people's booth accounts. They have amazing things. Like especially if you're on a budget, you will find so many amazing free stuff to use on your models, do try them out. They're really good. For other resources, we got Bida for my background. They are on DeviantArt, by the way, this one. Lace brushes I got from Courthouse and Paulisa, also DeviantArt accounts. And finally, my background and opening music came from Ruro no Tami from Booth, another Booth account. They mostly make music for video games from what I understand. They have amazing free options as well as paid ones. Do check them out if you're looking for something like what you hear in the background. That's it, I think. Thank you everyone. And we finally made it to the end of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and if you did, do consider leaving a like, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell so that you know when the next video is going to drop. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or X or whatever people call it nowadays if you want. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye!